So I'm searching for new updates on Meghan and Harry, but I came across this video about called "Report of Shady Business Going On at the Paris Olympics," and then I read the comments and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" I mean, really, I had no idea. I mean, obviously, I am in Paris. I'm cruising Paris. I am, going on about my life. I haven't gone to the Olympic Games at all. I don't even know when they are, where they are. Don't tell anybody. Sometimes I'm walking and I stumble into something. Like the other day, I was walking and I stumbled into a bike race. I didn't even see the bikers because people were just waiting around and the bikers weren't coming up yet. And I didn't really want to wait because it was quite hot. So I didn't wait. For me, all I know about the Olympics is that it's €4 to get on the bus, and I can't afford to take the bus. And so it's hard to cruise Paris because even though I walk a lot, if I walk for 2 hours away from my apartment, to walk back another 2 hours to get home is like too much. It's like 4 hours of walking in a day. Even for me, it's way too much. So I am kind of like, you know, stuck at home for the most part, with some exceptions. So I'm not really, and I don't follow the Olympics just because I don't have a television. So anything that I'm going to see would be on a YouTube short or something like that. And so and then there's the other aspect of me being someone who traditionally am in my own world. I create my own world, my little microcosm, and I stay in it, and I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So I didn't know that all of this was being said about the Paris Olympics. I thought things were going well, but apparently a lot of the athletes, especially like, you know, Jamaicans and some African American athletes in the track and field and in, I think, gymnastics, have been apparently having a tough time during the Paris Olympics. I had no idea. So apparently, career Olympians or have not been able to even compete for one reason or another. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know who these Olympians are by name. Like one named Shelly Ann Fraser. I've heard of her, but I mean, can I identify? Well, I know the name. I've heard the name before. I know she's a track and field star, but I don't know her record, of how many wins. I know she's had wins, but apparently she wasn't able to compete. And Shakari Richardson is an African American um, runner. I've seen her. And apparently she's had some issues, and I'm just like really, really shocked. I'm really shocked. I thought everything was going really well, and I'm really shocked. And this is a lot of comments. And I mean, I haven't yet seen one that has said that all of this is untrue. This is like 1,000 comments. So that's a lot. Anyway, I'm still looking for Meghan and Harry content. So because I mean this is, usually about Meghan and Harry, but it's cruising Paris as well. And I know the Olympics is a big deal. And, unfortunately, I haven't really been able to participate in the Olympics or attend any of the games. And so I don't really know for a fact what's going on. And I mean, I enjoy a good sprint. I enjoy a good sprint. I mean, I like to watch the YouTube shorts of these runners. It's electrifying. I mean, I don't even know the names. As I said, I'm just like, wow, you know what I mean? But I know Richardson. Is Richardson? Shakari Richardson? Shakari Jackson? Shakari Richardson. Don't tell anybody. And I know that name, and I was excited to hear that someone from St. Lucia won the 100 meters. I mean, that's exciting because she's from a small island, So I kind of, when I watch the Olympics, I'm a little bit, nationalistic and maybe even a little racist. I'm a little bit, I'm typically not racist, but when I watch the Olympics, I kind of want, the black people to win, and I kind of want the black people from small islands to win. You know what I mean? So it would be the St. Lucias and the Jamaicas and the Bahamas and so on over the bigger countries like America and Canada and Netherlands and all that. You know what I mean? I'm for the small little people, and for black women, when it comes to sports, you know what I mean? So I guess that kind of makes me a little bit racist, but yeah, I'm guilty in that one context. I do see color. I do see color, and I'm all on the black women winning. Sorry, everyone. I mean, I want everyone else to do well, but I want the black women to win. So it's disappointing to hear that this has been happening, and I don't. What can I say? I have no power to change anything. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but I just wanted to acknowledge that. I've just heard that, and I'm really sorry to hear that. So moving right along with Harry and Meghan. So in this video, what I really wanted to talk about was the rioting in the UK. Apparently, there's been a lot of far right violence in the UK in recent days, and they're calling it protests, but it really seems to be actual violence on certain groups, like on asylum seekers in the UK. A protest to me is kind of like you show up and you march and you have your big sign and you express your discontent. And then once you start going into certain neighborhoods and attacking certain specific types of individuals, then to me, it's kind of like jumps the shark from being a protest, and it just goes into just being violence on certain groups. So apparently, this has been going on. Now, what does this have to do with Meghan and Harry? Well, obviously, Meghan and Harry were recently invited to Colombia, and the British media, the UK press, the Sun, the Daily Mail, those types of publications were running stories about it, about how violent it is in Colombia. And, then of course there was coupled with the story about security and the fact that Harry's still fighting to have security for his family. It just seems like a story has emerged because, a lot of countries have apparently issued travel warnings and travel advisories to their citizens against traveling into the UK at this point because of this far right violence. Countries in Africa, countries in Asia have been warning their citizens to stay away from the UK, or to certainly be very careful and vigilant when they travel in the UK. And at the same time, the UK press is saying that other countries like Colombia are too violent for Harry and Meghan to visit. And then other stories are saying that it's the royal family who have fomented the far right the violence, the far right anti-immigrant mentality, anti-certain groups mentality that has been exhibited or is being exhibited on UK streets at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, Harry and Meghan, look, I mean, the way I see it is that, whatever the situation, Harry's right to protect his wife and his children and to insist on having security for them, whether or not it's the royal family that fomented this kind of far right activism and violence and anti-immigrant, anti-dark skinned people mentality in the country. I mean, that's a debate. Look, I mean, people can debate that issue. I'm not making any pronouncements one way or another. I mean, it just seems to me that, you know, a lot of British people like Meghan, like I said, a lot of them, and they're okay with Meghan and Harry's marriage. And it seems that a lot of them don't. So, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's a 50-50 split or what the split looks like, but there's some who love and there's some who hate. I think it's like any other country, really. I don't think everybody in the UK would agree with this kind of behavior. I mean, they may want the asylum seekers to get out, but they're not going to resort to this, nor do they condone it necessarily. Although I think silence is is acquiescence. Silence is agreement. I mean, if people are doing this and good British people are remaining silent, then it tells me that these good British people just very well might agree with this kind of anti-immigrant or anti-racial violence going on in the country. But look, I could be wrong. All I can say for Harry and Meghan is stay out of the UK for the moment. And as for the other people who are being attacked, I mean, this is why I'm so terrified with the November elections in the US, because I just think that, there's so much at stake, and that's why there's no margin for error. And that's why I don't think Kamala Harris is the best pick to take on Trump, because the stakes are too high. If she misses this, if she loses this, it's over for a lot of people. There's so much at stake. And so, don't shoot the messenger. I mean, people get upset when I say it, and I'm going to stop saying it because, this is not a political blog, but it's just kind of stuff that makes me worry about America under Trump, because it happened before and it's going to be a lot worse the second time around. And I don't think Kamala Harris has what it takes to stop Trump from winning. I just don't think so. With her at the top of the ticket, not because of qualifications, I think she is as qualified as Trump, but just because of the reality of the thing. The reality of the thing is that this is not the right time and the right year for a Kamala Harris to win against a Donald Trump. I've suggested putting this guy Shapiro at the top of the ticket. He's electrifying, and putting him with Waltz. Kamala was vice president. It's pretty darn good for someone in her situation. Take it and run, hold her ambitions another couple of years, and let these two men take on Trump. No, it's not a sexist statement. It's just a realist statement, you guys. She can't win this, you guys. But listen, I'm not going to keep trying to tell y'all. You will see what I mean in November. And so this is kind of what we have to look forward to in America, and much, much worse, and all over the world, really, because where America goes, so does the rest of the world. And so that's where we are. And so, yeah, Harry and Meghan should definitely just stay in Montecito and, yeah, hope for the best. Anyway, that's all for this one. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.